Hey everyone, we will start in a couple of minutes. Just waiting for Chris from HealthiD. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments, so we will ask them to Chris on our AMA session.
Hi,
Hi Christopher, glad you finally connected.
thanks.
Yeah, so let's start our AMA. Hey everyone, welcome to this AMA session with HealthiD. If you were at our demo day last Wednesday, you already saw Chris. He delivered a strong 3-minute pitch for HealthiD. And today our goal is going deeper. We've got 40 minutes to really unpack what HealthiD is building today and why it matters. So, Chris, welcome. Give us like 1 minute version what for anyone who missed our demo day, and then we can go deeper.
Absolutely. Yeah, look forward to sharing everything we've been working on. So I'm Christopher, founder of HealthiD. We're operational in market, so perhaps later on I'll show you some of the tools. From the top, HealthiD's chatbots and modular community tools deliver personalized, proactive, and preventative health gains. Our AI chatbot guides towards health mastery for each individual and their unique profile. Their engagement and process is rewarded with points, as well as bespoke data-driven insights which evolve with each interaction. So it's healthy addiction as such. Around the empowered individuals at the center of their cosmos spans sponsoring organizations, states, health providers, and health and wellness products. They tap in to boost and generate value through unique insights, integrated direct advertising, and quick, smooth management of interactions. They also fund points with mutual return. Our ecosystem transforms real-world health data, both for the individual and on the aggregated data, into programmable health conversion and mastery.
Awesome. Thank you for this introduction. And Christopher, I have a question for you. So before this project, HealthiD, you spent 2 years inside health ministry building a platform for them. And tell us overall your experience in healthcare industry, what you did before, and what is your journey, and why you decided to start this project.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in tech and startups since I left university around 10 or 11 years ago. And that spans travel, prop tech businesses, and then eventually built a platform which built ecosystems for all different types of markets. A lot of our clients were US based. And one of the projects which we spent a lot of time on and built some really unique tools for was with a health ministry in the US called UHSM. So across that, we went and worked directly in the business for periods of time and understood as a health share ministry with 15,000 users what their pain points were, what they wanted to achieve for their users, and ultimately how they could lower the number of claims and reimbursements that they'd have to process for their community. Within that experience, we built them gamified health tracking and a content platform so that they could engage with their community and also so that their community could engage back with them. And for that, we operated through vouchers. So when somebody performed an action or hit a goal, people would unlock vouchers and could redeem that against their own health plans or with different retailers in the US. Then we went a bit deeper and we built out a chatbot-led service and ticketing platform so that they could manage and process their reimbursements. So that was a really cool process, very technical, and got a lot of value out of it. We also integrated SLAs so that people could see what timings and deliverables they had to work against, and also engaged humans at different points in that ticket's evolution, as well as building in finance and points issuance, and exploring how we could get doctors and physicians plugged into tickets so that they could meet with a patient, report back the findings, and then update the ticket. And obviously, that data would then compound into the individual's history and also the wider network. And then finally, we went even deeper and we built a 3-layered HIPAA compliant health wallet, which was segmented based on the level of protection. So yeah, so it was a really great exercise. But we found with UHSM, after building these products with them, that they were quite restricted in their potential due to their size and just their internal capacity. So building content, operating platforms which engage their audiences required them to spend more resources and build bigger teams. So it became quite slow. But with that, that got me thinking, and I saw that across those different tools we built, we could probably apply it to the market as a whole, both for individuals and organizations, as well as building out deeper relationships with them, and actually generating the content. So being in a position where we could drive the network effects, drive the engagement, drive the gamification, and make it so that any collaborators we're working with, that be it an organization, an employer, a government organization, they wouldn't have to do anything. They'd just have to introduce their users, and then we take it over and deliver for them. So that's what brought us to here. Another great thing that we got out of that experience as well is that Andy, their head of growth, who's really experienced in the health market and SaaS, he's also joined our team because again, he was very keen on scaling it up, but was limited by that company's resources. So that's really nicely fitted.
Yeah, cool. What's the journey? And what did you take from that experience that you're building for UHSM that directly shaped how HealthiD works today?
Yeah, so I think the key components really are the gamification. So we found directly from that experience, as well as through researching the data, that people respond much better if they're empowered, both with the data that they're inputting, and
Hmm.
they're working towards aims, and if they're rewarded that, then that's an even better benefit. We also saw that the market was very fragmented in the way that people were managing their data. And yeah, I mean, the whole market's really built on the wrong rails, highly disconnected. So through the ticketing platform and chatbots that we built, we saw that we could consolidate that data, make it easier for people to manage, make it so that they could submit that data on a daily basis, and then really get the rewards out of that in terms of their insights, how they can improve their health profile, and also directly through benefits with points. Um,
Hmm.
then finally, as well, the HIPAA compliant data wallet. I mean, that was a lot of information to take in, and we saw that how regulated the industry is, but that created further opportunity for us to disrupt it.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting topic. So you mentioned that the market is pretty fragmented, but we can see that health apps are everywhere. So we have Noom, Headspace, Calm, Apple Health, and I believe Apple Health also had some gamification options, plus try to be like a combiner that get data from different sources in the one space. So what's actually different about what you are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of the apps that are in the markets at the moment, they fall into three different categories. There's tracking apps like Health and Fitbit. So that's kind of passive data. And then content apps like Headspace or Calm. And that's kind of generic content data. They're not really taking you on a broader journey. It's very, very focused and funneled. And then program apps, which Noom fits into. So yeah, it's structured and but not adapted to taking you across all of your different walks of life and driving you towards health mastery. They're very, very focused on a specific area. And we don't really see them as competitors at all. We see them as different apps that we could integrate into our ecosystem, and that sets us apart in terms of daily habitual AI-driven guidance rather than static plans. Gamified incentives, which are tied into real behavior, both on rewards and also your insights, and then a closed loop learning system, where we turn action into reward and insight. And finally, obviously, we're also set up to work with different organizations to drive our scale, as we grow through states and different organizations. Yeah, so I think our key thing is we want to tackle health in its totality, and that's going to benefit the users across those different inputs and outputs more broadly. And as to our tagline, we're looking to drive people towards health mastery rather than just sleeping better, for example.
Hmm. I see. That's a pretty interesting angle. And can you walk us through what a user actually experience day to day? So, for example, I open an app on Monday morning. What happens? Why should I open it next day, and so on?
Yeah, absolutely. It might be worth me pulling up my screen and then I can show you something if that's possible.
Yeah, let's go.
Brilliant. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, here we go. So this is exactly what a user will see. You can see that we've put something together for EasyMM here. And for all of our partners that we work with, we can white label the solution to fit, their exact brand UI, so that when somebody onboards, it doesn't feel alien to them. Across this
That's
platform,
impressive.
yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll get the EasyMM super healthy. And yeah, so chatbot driven at the start. So my key task here as I've just joined and logged in through a magic link is that I need to secure my account. That's led by chatbot. If I do that, it's going to send me a text and I can then unlock my shopping points. As soon as I unlock shopping points, those points can be spent through the marketplace with products from external parties, but also products generated by the community as well. So that creates some really nice engagement. We've also expanded that offering so that users can spend and earn points through a virtual Visa card as well. We've got hundreds of different retailers in that, and we can bespoke which retailers people like on an individual level, but also on an organizational level. When somebody logs in, you can see they've got their three leading tasks here. So walk 5K steps, take my omega-3 and my turmeric tablets, and hydrate every hour. We've built the platform so that we can deliver it through web, and that's normally the first port of call for different organizations. Once we get to a certain scale with each organization, we then deliver them a mobile application, which again is personalized to their branding. So then it's even more engaging, and our chatbot and notifications can touch in with people rather than just sending them an email or a text really engagingly, for example, to remind me to walk my 5K steps today if I haven't tracked or reported that. It's also very interactive in terms of building out your goals. Each user has their own profile. So you can see here, I've got my ID with my core information that I need to verify. And I've also got my points. So I can start to move points into different pots to manage them and fund my different goals. I've then got my goals, so I can work through each of my goals across wellness and health. And what that does is it enables us to really laser in on the key things that are going to drive value to the users. And then once we've done that and we've built a plan for them, we've hit their goals for them, then they'll start to unlock different focuses. We're also heavily interested in psychometrics. Obviously, it's HealthiD, so we're looking to understand the individual at an individual level. Each individual is unique. They have their different walks of life. They have their different positioning psychometrically, and this is going to help us get the best out of those individual journeys.
Yeah, sorry for interrupt you. How do you track that? Like, this is pretty interesting, but I have no idea how you can like get the necessary data to understand it.
Yeah, so for psychometrics, we've used an API for Myers-Briggs, so 16 personalities, and it's really nicely delivered through our chatbot. So all of those different interactions, asking people about their behavior, different scenarios, is really useful. We ask them questions at the start to get enough data to pin roughly where they are, but again, it's a really good, useful tool for us to touch in with them on a daily basis. It's also quite a good tool for virality as well, because once you can start to map what an individual profile is, they'll share it with their friends and want to know, what their friends are as well, and how they could work with them. So yeah, this is the real data engine for us in terms of understanding each individual and then being able to plot their plan for them, and really getting to know them better than they know themselves.
Yeah. Like it's impressive. I never seen it before in any health app. I also love the idea that you have notification system like with take your medicine, hydrate, etc. Because usually I use like separate apps for all these things, which is annoying. When you have it in one place, it definitely should be better. But yeah, let's move on your like business model. So you are B2B to C. So user doesn't pay, but the employer pays.
Yeah.
How does that conversation goes? What do you say to like who you talk to usually? Is it head of HR or head of like business development? Who is your main contact and how you converse?
Yeah, so firstly, we've adopted a model where we believe we can get to past Series A and to Series B purely through introductions. So we're amassing a network of introducers with experience in each market that we can sell into, and that's been working really well in health, also in retail and sport as well. We've then got some really good contacts who are helping us with introductions directly into governments and states. Again, so that's really placed us well. So yeah, we're targeting the key decision makers in C-suite at the moment, and we feel that that's going to give us enough traction to get past Series A and towards Series B. However, underneath that, what we've seen is that the key decision makers are within innovation, loyal engagement, and also in HR and benefits as well. So those parties have been coming into the conversations, and it's a really key area for them to focus on. And again, what we've seen back from that is that all of those different parties, they're finding that the tool wellness, productivity, attendance, they're so fragmented that it becomes confusing for them, and not a properly integrated solution. So maybe they're giving someone a perk, you can use this for free or for cheaper. However, actually providing something which is fully integrated and also that they get really robust aggregated data out of the back, that doesn't exist. So yeah, we're finding it's resonating really well with them. And then in terms of sale processes, it ranges between 3 to 9 months for most kind of small, medium to small, large companies. And then for the conversations that we've had in terms of government and state, bit longer.
I see. That's a fair point. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. You are pre-revenue. So the product is built, but you don't have paying customers yet. What's taking so long? Where are you now?
Yeah, so we started work on the project mid last year. So we wanted to build the platform based on what we'd explored previously with the health ministry. Also across those introducers, working with them to understand exactly what the people who they knew in those markets wanted and be able to build around that as well. So that's what we've been focusing on really. It's getting the product really on point. And we are having conversations across the board, and things are moving forward. So at the moment, yeah, we have a development team, but my focus and the other team members' focus is just getting bums on seats and closing those deals. And yeah, we're finding that we're cruising through validation, and being in a position where we can have a pilot for 3 months is looking very strong.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. And at Demo Day, someone asked you about the connections between mental health tracking and employer ROI. That's a hard thing to measure, I believe. How do you actually prove to an employer that your platform is saving them money?
Yeah, so through regular interactions with the user, it is very important. So understanding when they're at work, when they're sick, and how that plots against their previous days. So yeah, one of the areas which we've been speaking to the different HR teams about is understanding their prior data. It's a bit of a blocker sometimes because getting them to pull out their data slows things down a bit. However, yeah, we've set up a CRM. We've got a platform. I'd love to show you that during this session or with anyone that would be keen to see it afterwards. And that CRM plots all of the inputs on the user side against the key KPIs that employer is seeking to do. And they can analyze that with a report on a monthly or weekly or daily basis, and also on a per worker basis as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Like you also have not only front end part for users, but also back end for employers. That's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
And like you also said that you already built the tech and proven the fit, but your team is pretty small and you are taking a really massive market. So what's stopping a bigger player like Noom or Apple House from just adding a like reward layer or some other features and eat your lunch?
Yeah, so I guess what they aren't is proactive across the full scope of health optimization. So us going broad, I think, is a benefit to us because it allows us to have more inputs, more data, and then compound that data for the users. And the results are going to be far higher, especially as obviously we're positioning ourselves as the health ID. So that's very important. They're not deeply embedded in those individuals' lives across health, wellness, but also general life through our Visa card, which can track spending. They're not optimized for ROI with organizations, as we just covered. And yeah, they're not focused on deeper health insights. They're more focused on steps or losing weight. So the key defensibility from us comes from the closed loop behavior engine, B2B2C distribution and embedded workflows, compounding data across all of the key pillars. The network effects through the marketplace is very important because people value those direct connections. They value that history. And as that data compounds and people's connection within the community and with the products that are being offered, it raises those switching costs. And then finally, also, we're not looking to build an AI company. We're sitting on Grok and Google VO, and that means that we can focus all of our attention on machine learning and specialist pattern recognition, for what we're delivering. So yeah, I think that's our positioning, and yeah, we're looking to even work with those people as well, to integrate their data.
Yeah, I see. Like you're you're right that they focus on a bit different things right now. And maybe, yeah, this focus will distinct you from them. Let's say about numbers. So you're raising 500,000 right now at a 2.5 million valuation. So some people can say that it's too much for pre-revenue company. Walk us through why you think that valuation is fair.
Yeah, so I think we've had the 2 years experience working and delivering with a client which was revenue generating. So we got that real world placement. Obviously, the tech's working and live, and yeah, through this session we've explored what the user gets and yeah, the back end of that. We're really well placed across different organizations to sell into them. We've got a very, very good network of introducers. And yeah, I think we've proven the market fit with different types of organizations on the SaaS model, which is really important. And it's obviously a large and heavily growing market. I think what's great for us and the investors that join is that Health ID doesn't exist, outside of what we're doing. There's no, does what it says on the tin, Health ID globally, which I just find remarkable. We're that. We're ready to scale. We've built the technology. We've got the proof. And I think the valuation, giving people, these investors 20% of the vehicle, I think it's really well placed. Obviously, we're also very, very keen to grow and work with the right investors. So we're happy to give people the right perks and non-dilution to make that happen. So yeah, we're collaborative. We're not just looking to pitch, raise money and go off. We really want to work with the right people to scale.
I see. And like your pitch mentioned also that your pricing model is $10 per user per month, but with a 5,000 minimum contract. I
Yeah.
mean, 5,000 user contracts. That means that employer should pay you 50,000 per month, which is like around 600,000 per year, which is even more than you're asking from investors. But you have no real case studies. So how do you expect to close this deal?
Yeah, so those are the type of organizations that we're targeting. So large organizations with large employer networks, and also not just employees, but stakeholders as well. So as we expand in scale, we've also been exploring things with different state organizations, and our unit cost can lower at higher scale. And obviously, states or human health services, they get large scale. So we're very adjustable on that, on an individual basis with each of those clients. But currently, with the work we've been doing, we can see that $10 per month per user is reasonable in the market across SaaS and wellness tools. And most importantly, we're going to be able to drive tangible returns from that with what we're delivering, both for them and the individual. And for the individual, because the platform's points based, it's very, very easy for each of those users to earn back that $10 a month and be able to spend it on their life. So very, very well set up to be able to report both financially and from a health perspective how that user's benefiting, but also from the organizational level, the CRM, the reporting that we've built is really going to drive and deliver what they need. And again, reverting back to HealthiD, we're the only people in the world that do what we do. And what we found is that this is exactly what these companies want. So we're not competing with other solutions to do what we do.
I'm also curious, is it enough to cover your costs? Because like I think everyone knows that companies like OpenAI and Tropic and their competitors earn less even from paid users than they spend on servers, data centers, all this kind of stuff on power. So how does it work in your case?
Yeah, so I think firstly our acquisition cost is low because we're selling in B2B2C. So that's really important. And then secondly, we're not looking to build an AI company. We're looking to sit on top of the best AI. We'll let them spend their money on their data centers. And we've got a really lean, scalable model, both in terms of the structure of the team, but also in terms of the way we built the technology in React, sits on Google Cloud, works with Firebase, and all of our deepest data sits on AWS. So yeah, we feel as if we're well positioned to have a solid margin of 70% on that $10 per user per head.
Okay, I got it. And one more questions here. Like I know that health data is incredibly sensitive. There are different standards across different countries. So how far along are you with this compliance? And what happens if there is a data breach?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, that was one of the core components during those 2 years with UHSM was building out the HIPAA compliant wallet. So the Health ID that we've built is on 3 layers, depending on how sensitive that data is. The most protected health data sits on its own database and server. We host that separately with AWS. Part of the funding we're seeking will be spent more deeply on encryption of data because when we're collecting data, we feel we're really well placed to store it. But the issues can occur when you're then sharing that data through the ticket platform and potentially with other users. So yeah, we need to do deeper work on that. But through our experience and what we've built, we feel we're well placed there. And in terms of the legal positioning, we know that very, very clearly.
Yeah, cool. And like what we discussed now is more about SaaS and AI things, but you work on our demo day, and we usually work with Web3 companies. So that means that you have also Web3 component, at least you're exploring it. So what blockchain, like what role does blockchain play in Health ID future?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, the key thing for us is going to be smart contracts related to the ticketing system that we've built and ensuring that all of the data that people collect through each of those tickets is stored correctly, that the data that's then shared against those tickets with different parties is encrypted in the right manner. Yeah, and I think yeah, we're not blockchain at the moment, but it's certainly something that we want to explore, and we'll move towards. We've met a few different partners through EasyMM in that space as well, which is really useful. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely a key thing for us. But at the moment, we feel that we're selling best into our different prospective clients, with a robust tech stack. Not talking to them about crypto. The main thing is trust. It's it's ease of use and its scalability. But certainly, the Web3 space and blockchain is certainly something that we'll evolve into, especially through community payments, the marketplace, and also the advancements of our digital points as well that we issue to users, and the way those are spent. Another conversation that we've had through EasyMM has also explored potentially building a community of people in the Web3 space that can have a founding seat to be able to build out different tools, test with us, and really lead our innovation in that space. So I think that's a really nice, separate route to market, and it will help us really be dynamic while we're selling into these slower scaling organizations.
Yeah, definitely. We will do our best to help you in this journey. And let me know one thing. If everyone goes right over the next 12 months, what does HealthiD look like by April 2027?
Yeah, so I think we'd like to have 250,000 really active users. Yeah, we'd like to have some very, very solid partnerships in place, with big organizations in the US. And based on our current traction, I'm confident that those numbers will be achievable. The key thing is tangible, measurable outcomes for the individuals so that they can review it well, they can share it, so that the partners that we have are retained. And yeah, we really want people to be talking about us and to be well positioned so that we can cruise through a Series A. And also, because of the level of margins that we've got, we're in a position that we can self-fund a lot of our growth. That's very important to me. We've built a lean business. We've got the experience, we've got the technology. It's very important to me that we just focus a lot of our attention on scaling, and not on any kind of glamorous startup aspects. We just want to be driving scale, hitting targets, and just growing, yeah, in a kind of self-perpetuated manner.
Yeah, I would love to see that happen. So 250, 100 users. That sounds impressive. And yeah, like if someone listening today and wants to get involved, whether it's an investor, a potential client, or even a user, what's the best way to reach you?
Yes, the best way to reach me is on chris@healthid.co.
Okay, cool. And maybe X or LinkedIn, what do you use most?
Yeah, so Telegram is Web3 Moon, is organic Web3 Moon.
Cool. So, Chris, thanks for being so open today and deliver us so many insights and your future way. So I think the audience got a much deeper look what House ID is building. And for anyone interested, Chris said where you can find him. Also, don't forget to follow EasyMM and my page as well. If you have any questions, just put in the comments them or DM me or DM EasyMM. We also can connect you to Chris. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you at the next time. Chris, maybe you want to add something in there.
Yeah, so it's an incredible project. I think we've found an amazing position in the market, and yeah, I'd just love to work with collaborative people and scale. I think yeah, we've got the whole world to take on eventually. It's an amazing startup, and that's going to be led by good people. That's the important aspect.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, by the way, if anyone knows potential good synergy with other projects, drop them below too, so Chris and I can explore these opportunities. Yeah, so let's make it happen. I always want all projects that we work with have a success story. So see you maybe next quarter or in a half of the year, and let's make a check where you will be there. So
Fabulous. Yeah, I look forward to that.
yeah, thanks again. Appreciate your time, and thanks guys for watching.